Good morning, everybody, and happy Wednesday. How's everybody doing out there? If you're with me here in chat, go ahead and say what's up if you're here in Discord or in YouTube. Good morning, Retberg, SW. Good morning, O'Keefe, John, Shady Lady, Chris, GV, Mel, J-Curve, Potamus, Big Sexy, Twin Trading, Julius, Kenko, Viking Trader, Cyrus, Panchua, Benji, Q Mendez, Rons. Good morning, Shawnee, Spazdrick, Astro Nerd, Futures Trading Today, Kenny, GC Wolf, HD, Scorpion Futures, Silent NW, RTR, DV8. Good morning, Driss. Good morning, Cabot, Kirk, Billy Joe, Epic Gamer, Mike James, Shane Angel, Seth, Silent NW, Epic Gamer. Good morning, good morning. How are y'all doing out there? Good morning, Trader Page. Good morning, good morning. Good morning, Darren, Dotton, Driss. How we doing out there? Morning, Alex P, Hindsight King, Cambo, Future Boogaloo, C, Mark, Nathan, Frank, Tony, Dips, Tickle, Tambrook, J Main, Richard, Dev, Future, Logan, Richard, Manny, Yessie, NTX, Kirk, Nitty, Richard, Visionary, Sunrise Driver, Ben, Dr. VJ, Rogers, Justin, Varun. Good morning, good morning. Morning, Tino, Tron. How we doing? Good morning, Kirsten, Anas. Good morning, Justin, Randy, Sapadilla, Dan, RTR, Tommy. Good morning, good morning. Well, we don't have any trades on yet. I'm still sitting here with $0 in the profit. But you know what's interesting? Let's talk about what I'm seeing over here. Go over to the chart. We had drawn this a while ago. I mean, we've been working on this. Look at this. This is the one-day bullish order block. I'm curious, did anybody out there, I mean, we drew this chart a week ago. We haven't touched it since. Did anybody catch this bullish order block, the one-day bullish order block? Because that was kind of what defined the reversal here. Look at that. It just did a little tickle in there, just a little tiny, little tickle in there, and then it just went ballistic. So I'm curious if anybody caught that. That was the craziest one-day bullish order block ever. It was the only one that actually qualified on the one day. That, you know, nothing here, but by golly, that was like the strongest thing we'd ever seen, right? Isn't that insane? Who did? Waleed got that. Oh my goodness, that's amazing. I can't believe that. So yeah, that was insane to see that. But let's go into the 15 minute. Let's talk about what we're looking at today here. So this 676 half level. I mean, here it is 670 and 3/4. This level is extremely important, and the fact that we kind of auctioned down to those 670s and we held that is extremely important in today's trade as well. There's a lot of liquidity, if you don't remember, that loves to contract in this area up here. So the price action is very, very comfortable to come back above that area. We just have to get through this up top here, this liquidity up top, and then this liquidity up top. So as long as we're taking this out today, there's a good chance that we are going to blast through that and find the auction comfortably back up in this area up here. Now, that's the bullish take, right? We don't want to be single-sided on anything. But if this is just capped off up here, if this is being defended with a lot of folks shorting, and keep in mind, we do have still 2 more big days of earnings, today after the bell and Thursday after the bell. And Thursday is just going to have so much data that's coming out there. So if we do actually make it above that level, I mean, it could start to rip. But let's just say that they defend this level and the shorts are still on the docket. And for some reason, folks are still finding some negativity in the market, and that's fine. Let's see if we can bring it back down and then retest that 670 area. If we do, the level that I'm watching down here would be down here at about 615 or so to see whether or not that we can break that level. So that's the case on the NQ. That's the bullish case, the bearish case. So it's a nice broad view today. So this is the kind of day where we could have a big moving day today. So the idea would be that you don't really have to use a lot of contracts today. You really don't. You can make it happen today on a very few amount of contracts. You know, you don't have to be holding a big amount of contracts to make a lot of money today. Today could have a big amount of movement. Just remember, the bigger the movement, the bigger the range, the fewer contracts you really need to use. And you can limit your risk that way because, you know, if you're picking good entries, you can have your stops relatively tight. And if the trade doesn't work, you're out of it kind of right away. And right now I'm looking for kind of any kind of pullback here. We've pulled back to basically the Vwap there and kind of rejecting there. We don't have a lot of news that's coming out this morning. We do have 2 releases. I mean, they're pretty much one and the same, but right at 8:30, which is about 24 minutes away, we are going to see the preliminary durable goods orders and preliminary capital goods orders for March. And that's going to be out at 8:30. That's pretty much it in the way of news outside of auctions. We have two big auctions today out from the Treasury. And by the way, my crude traders, we do have the crude oil, gasoline, and distillate inventories that are out at 10:30. It's Wednesday. Obviously, you know that if you're a crude trader. Hey, good morning, Strictly Trade Biz. Good morning, good morning. And so, yeah, the two big auctions today. We have a floating rate note auction, a 2-year floating rate note auction at 11:30 Eastern time. And at 1 p.m., we do have a 5-year note auction, just a regular old 5-year. But the floating rate note auction could be interesting because I want to see how the participation is in that auction. And then after the bell, as you know, we have two big giants that are reporting. IBM, not a big trader stock, but it is a big chip stock. I mean, it's going to help influence what's going to happen in the semis. Meta, also ingrained in AI and consumer tech. It's going to be interesting to see Meta's earnings report because there's a lot of advertisers that spend a lot of ad dollars on Meta. So seeing what they're kind of guiding for their full year guidance and then looking at if they're going to give us numbers for 25 and 26, that will also give us kind of a pulse on if advertisers are looking to pull back, if consumers are still strong. There's a lot of information that we can pull from that. Visa yesterday beat on both the top and bottom line, also suggesting a strong consumer. So what do we look at from the earnings yesterday? Tesla also knocked it out of the park. Let's bring up Tesla's chart here. Not great earnings, but a big reaction, right? I think the big reaction was mainly because the fact that they are offering a lower price point to consumers, and that generally should stir up things because it's also inflation protection, given that if people are lacking in cash, it becomes a very attractive option. You know, if somebody's going from a BMW budget down to, let's say, a Honda budget, you know, that's not a knock on anybody who owns a Honda, of course. It's just the different budget ranges. BMWs are statistically more expensive than Hondas. Obviously, you can buy a tricked out Honda and put a lot of money into it. But the BMW budget is different than the Honda budget. And so what Tesla's doing here is there's a lot of inflation protection here when they're releasing these cars at a much lower price. And I think that that's what got investors excited about the stock again. Also, you know, Kimball probably buying the crap out of the stock also helps a lot. And it's just one of those things where when you're looking at the reaction on that, a lot of folks are saying, well, it's a big miss on earnings. Well, yeah, that's the earnings now. Earnings that they're reporting now, it's kind of in the past already. It's already happened. It's over. So we're looking towards the full year guidance and the forward-looking guidance. And they were guiding up, not up, but they were guiding in a way that would suggest that, you know, my takeaway from the entire presentation was practically that, you know, they're really protecting themselves with lower cost vehicles. And if you look at this, the new Model 3 performance thing that's coming out with the tax benefits, I think you're in at about $40,000 and the lease payment is under $600 for that thing. And so that's a very attractive option for folks out there that, I mean, get this. This is a sub 3 second car, 0 to 60 in 2.9 seconds. For my gearheads out there, obviously we don't love battery operated golf carts, but I mean, if you're shopping for a golf cart, this one is very zippy. 2.9 seconds, 0 to 60. It's about $40,000 after all the tax breaks and gas savings. That's a great option for people. And, you know, it's a great option as even like a secondary car for people. The lease option is very attractive. So I think investors were very excited about that. Yeah, absolutely. You can lease a Tesla. You can go on their website, and I think it costs you a $700 deposit on your credit card, and then you take delivery and you're enrolled in a lease payment. I think the down payment on that thing is about $2,000, and then the lease payment is something like $500 a month for that brand new Model 3 that does 0 to 60 in 2.9 seconds. So, I mean, that's a fantastic option. I mean, there's not many cars that are doing 0 to 60 in 2.9 seconds. I mean, I don't really want to get into it, but yeah, I mean, it's a very, very fast car, but 0 to 60 in 2.9 seconds. If you've never been in a fast car that can do 0 to 60 in under 4 seconds is relatively quick. This is 2.9 seconds, and this is a car that costs less than $50,000 after the tax breaks and benefits. So, yeah, I mean, that's insane. And the range on it is close to 300 miles, I believe. It's a fantastic option for people. And I think that folks are very, very excited for that and for the other options that Tesla is now offering there. So, yeah, driving dots. We got a Top Gear fan in here. But yeah, I mean, it's a tremendously strong thing for folks out there, even as a secondary vehicle, you know. I mean, as a primary vehicle, great too, but it's like a miniature Model S Plaid. It even has like a little Plaid badge in the back, you know, the warp speed thing. But it's cool. I mean, I thought that was really good, and I think that's what investors are excited about the most, is that if you were to look at a company that could be against inflation, you're looking at a company like Tesla and saying, well, if their prices are too high, they're going to price people out, with inflation. The only thing that is the rub with Tesla right now is that they are kind of bagging their owners of these cars. So if you got in like a Tesla Model S Plaid, I think you're paying 160, 140,000 in that range. Those are now selling for 80,000. The depreciation on these Teslas is dramatic, right? So, I mean, it's great if you're leasing the car, but if you're an owner of this thing and you're looking to flip it, you're probably getting bagged pretty hard there. So, Rips, are you going to be on Top Step TV today? No, I'm not. We were on yesterday. How many folks tuned in yesterday? That was probably the most fun that I've had on a Top Step TV episode yesterday. We traded the house account. Nobody was a believer down there at those 470s. I tell you what, we took it long from 470s and we were out at 590s. And it was a fun trade to take live on stream with everybody. Did the house account, 10 contracts, and made just shy of $10,000. It was a lot of fun. It was so much fun. So, yeah, Model S Plaid, light speed in 2.7 seconds. So think about that, Fade My Trade. Think about this. 2.9 seconds for under 50,000 now. I mean, you were paying 140, 160,000 for that car. And if you're looking at other high-end luxury cars, especially, gasoline cars, petrol cars, I mean, to get those numbers is pretty difficult to get. So, Tesla, obviously, very, very strong. Jeff says, Rip's not just Teslas. Check out the Mach-E and Ford Lightning. And it's funny that you bring that up there, Jeff, because Ford is also reporting after the bell. So we'll have to see, does Ford have an answer for Tesla's drop in prices on a lot of their models? And that would be really, really interesting to see. Competition is always a healthy thing in the open marketplace. And we'll have to see what Ford's response is to that. They might announce some new models, the Ford Lightning, the F-150 Lightning, the Mach-E, I believe it's called. Yeah, Mach-E. And so they're going to be reporting after the bell today. And they're going to be reporting alongside Meta, IBM, and also I believe Chipotle, I think, is reporting, if I'm not mistaken, if somebody can correct me on that. And ServiceNow is a big one. But LRCX, that's the other one I'm going to be watching. They're big in the semi space. So the pairing between LRCX and Intel are going to be very, very interesting. Remember, Intel, IBM. I keep saying Intel. IBM. IBM is very much B2B. That's where the most of their revenue comes from, is B2B, cloud B2B. And so seeing them reporting alongside LRCX is going to be important, Lam Research. So those are the ones that I'm going to be paying attention to after the bell today. It's going to be tremendously strong. By the way, for my currency traders out there, the USD Japanese yen pair just went above 155. That is the highest it's been since 1990. What? That's a 34-year trend that we're about to buck there. So if anybody's trading the dollar yen pair, holy smokes, the first time since 1990. Anybody trading currency pairs in here? I mean, I dabbled in it. I trade cable 2 sessions and then I was done with it. Oh, yeah. Japan's been in a recession, I feel like, for the last 20 years. It's just been a slow burn recession. Yeah. So if you're trading the dollar yen pair, that's insane. Over 155, the highest since 1990. That's definitely, who said that? Intervention win. Who said that? Yeah. McNasty. Hopefully soon, right? Somebody's got to do something. Yeah. Japan's been in this slow burn recession forever, it feels like. Okay, so let's look at the S&P before. That's not it. Let's look at the S&P here. There we go. Okay, so what are we looking at on the S&P here? You can see we are kind of knocking above this trend here. Knocking above this double top, triple top, quadruple top, whatever you want to call it. We did draw some liquidity above it, but the point is that we did not auction back below this. We're using this kind of as a sentiment indicator right now, as a strong buying point. So what would be my next target on the S&Ps? Well, today I could see us meandering up towards that 51 today, which is not far off. It's only 30 points away from where we're auctioning right now. So let's see how that kind of shakes out. A lot of stuff to watch. To the downside here, you want to see this 5,100 level giving out. And to the downside, I would say a healthy target to the downside is going to be somewhere around thusly. So 50.75 or so. I think those are some good targets to be watching there on the S&Ps. So we'll have to see how this shakes out. Right now, it is wrestling at that 51.20 level. So we'll have to see if that can break above that level. Folks, in 15 minutes, we do have the data coming out. If you could do me a favor, please drop a lucky like on the video. Let's see if we can get some trades off this newsprint. I don't expect a lot to happen, but I think it'll be an excuse for larger players to inject some liquidity into the market. So we'll have to see if there's any directionality in that trade. there. And yeah, we'll have to see how that shakes out. Tommy asks, did you ask MP about the 10 XFAs? I did not. I didn't get a chance to do it. We were riding high on Euphoria yesterday, I'll tell you what, on that trade. And he's going on vacation. So I don't think that even if I did ask him, he was in high spirits. It was probably a pretty good time to ask the guy. But yeah, I didn't have asking him about it. I would assume that as we get closer to the release of Top Step X, it's something that will bring it to the forefront. He did say there are going to be nonstop new features coming out more and more and more. So he did say that. More features coming out nonstop. And once it releases, it's going to get better and better. How are you folks enjoying the micros to minis conversion? Because I keep getting messages from people here in Clubhouse talking about it's amazing and it's changing their trading, especially on those 50K XFAs. It's like a night and day experience because it's like now you can trade 20 micros right out of the gates when you get that XFA activated versus I'm stuck with 2 minis or 2 micros. Now it's 20 micros. So it's like you can start trading at 5 lot clips in those micros or even 2 to 4 lot clips. And it's great. It's awesome. It was so funny when he kept entering his long, you were cracking up. It was hilarious, right? It was so funny. I was laughing so hard. There's so many funny moments in that episode. The producer and I were on the phone yesterday and they said that was one of their best episodes of Fast Markets. And they said also, that they're going to be cutting up some clips from that. So I'm excited to see that. They hired a video editor that's going to be working on cutting up clips and also the weekly wrap up. I guess there's going to be some clips in that too. So, all right, check it out. NQ here. We have been holding above the VWAP. I do like longs here. I'm just going to be honest with you. The big rejection under 676 halves was the reason why I really like longs here. We came down below that level. I mean, yeah, we gapped up a little bit, but just seeing how strong it's been, just holding this trend and really kind of rejecting off of that. The big flat top breakout that we're looking for here is above those 740s. So if we do get that, we have room all the way up to 769. And if this thing just goes, it's going to boot, scoot, and boogie. And I think that's the big reason that we're seeing that right now is the influx in orders that we're seeing in Google specifically. Google is looking to make big highs here. And as well as, Microsoft being the number one weight of the S&P 500 and the NASDAQ 100, that being the number one weight and seeing people buy up the run up to earnings, it could be tremendously strong. And if Microsoft reports, I mean, people forget, but Microsoft can move on their reports. Let's just say that Microsoft comes out and they do an increase in dividend or they do a share buyback program that's extensive. There's a lot of tricks that these companies have in their bag that they can spring on you in earnings. So don't count these companies out. Conversely, Microsoft, if they don't have anything good in their full year guidance or the forward-looking guidance, you can expect them to drop like a rock. We're trading 409s right now. To think that Microsoft couldn't be trading 350 or 310 by Friday is a fool's errand. It could absolutely do that on a terrible report. And conversely, Microsoft could be trading 475, 480. It's one of those things where you got to expect the unexpected. I think that, let me see what they're actually expecting here on the, let me just have a quick little gander here. I haven't actually looked this week because I've been trying to stay focused on the options in the indices, but we are expecting what here? Let's see what the implied... yeah, so we are expecting a decent sized move here. So what are we at right now? 409. I would say a lofty expectation would be about 465 to the north side, and Microsoft to the downside, we're looking at about 340 to 370, somewhere in that range to the downside. So I could absolutely expect that to happen here. Ryan says, Rips, when you have multiple contracts, do you place your stop at the average price? It depends. And, we're having a webinar after the bell today. We're having our Wednesday webinar, and I will be talking about specifically how to trade around the levels, how to adjust your stops around the levels, and how to trade confirmation around levels. And then we'll wrap it. That will be a part 1. And then next week, we're going to wrap it and tie it all up with a bow and pair it with order blocks for value gaps and all of that fun stuff, and put a nice little bow on it there. Funded another 150K. Look out, Spastrick in the building this morning. Way to go there, buddy. Wow, congrats. That is awesome. I'm guessing that you caught that to the long side there. Beautiful. Will it be recorded to watch later? Of course, yes. Dotton, all of the webinars that we do in here in the Clubhouse are recorded, and they're posted to the webinar archive every single time. So within 24 hours usually is when you get access to it. But I've been pretty quick with it lately. The editor gets those videos banged out for me very, very quickly. There's not much editing to do. It's just like audio adjustments and all that. So they get those posted, and then we go and we party. So if you miss it, the only thing that you're going to miss today, if you miss it live, is that you will miss the Q&A. So if you have any burning questions about it, but you can always ask me the following day if you've watched it there. Working some morning shifts, so right now that's late for me. I understand. Yeah, it's not the right time for everybody. So today it's going to be at 4 p.m. Eastern time there. Wednesday webinar is for members only. But again, if you're a trial member, you can come through and check out the webinars and binge watch all the webinars, and you can come right in and cancel your membership right away. So you're on the hook for a whole $7, but you get to hang out with us for 7 days. But yeah, it's a great way to come check it out and see if there's anything that you like there. Are there any current coupons for Top Step? There's a link at the top of the chat there, pinned to the top of the chat. If you take it all the way to checkout, it will show you what the deepest discount is available. You don't have to actually check it out there. Have a meeting after market close today. Will it be recorded? Yes, it will be, Jay. I don't see the break-even button on Top Step X. Is it only visible after a position is opened? That's a good question. Can anybody help crafting futures here? I know it's like right around the quantity. It's a gray button, I believe. I'm pretty sure. How can I listen to the webinar? Right here, if you want to check it out, right here. Yeah, so the answer is yes. So only when you have an open position there, crafting futures. That is it. So thank you, everybody, for the help. Wow, we are pushing up here. We are coming up to 737. Good golly, I would love to be in along here, but yeah, I kind of want to trade my XFAs, but I just have a feeling today is just going to be a long extension. I mean, this rejection right here was everything for me. So just seeing that there, and then the fact that we're rejecting above the VWAP as well. So we'll have to see. A flat top breakout here could just be a simple draw of liquidity, and then we make our way back down, and then we thunder through that level there. So that's one thing that we really have to watch for. And also, the other scenario that we're going to watch for here is a draw above this level, come back down, get some more liquidity, and then we find the juice to slam to the north side there. So let's see how that shakes out. News is going to be coming out here in about 7 minutes here. 7 minutes, folks. Just passed my first ever account and my first Top Step Combine. Nice. Give it up for Siobhan. Nice. And Elite Trading, welcome to the chat, VIP. Good to have you with us. What does the break-even button do? It brings your stop to break-even. Yeah, your stop loss right there. Yes, indeed there. Welcome. It's not a break-even button. It's still a loss button because it doesn't cover fees. Yeah, okay. I get what you're saying, but I mean, yeah. Do you expect PayPal on Market Clubhouse? No, except PayPal. I mean, if you only do PayPal, you're welcome to reach out to the support, and then I can, they'll put you in contact with me, and then we can probably arrange something if you must, but we take any payment, I think, except for crypto, really. $100 is break even. I was a little nitpicky with the break even button. A little bit, yeah. Not seeing the break even button. Where is it located? Stacking bananas. It is only when you're in a position, and it is right next to, it's above the 15 contract button there. It's a gray button. So we're running right into this 737 quarters level. We're running right into it. And I want to see if we can get a pullback here, but we're running right into that data as well. I'd love to see a nice little pullback on that data, and then we can go long here, long and strong. Only in a position, and it only works when the trade is in the green. Okay, that's good. Thank you, Jeff. That makes sense. Yeah. So if your position's in the green, I guess, yeah, if you're in the red, it would probably close you out. So yeah. We have for the Ninja Trader hotkeys that we have, there's a break-even button on that, and I'm assuming that the functionality works exactly in the same way there. All right, so we are pushing up above those 737s. We got a slight pullback there. My golly, I wish I would have been long at any of those points in the VWAP or anything, but we'll be patient here. We got less than 5 minutes until that news comes out. We do have a lot of liquidity stepping on up. By the way, for you Bookmap users out there, Bookmap did update their software here. It's much snappier for me. I don't know why. It's just so much faster. This is 7.5 build 16. And I was just thinking back. I've been on Bookmap, I think, since version, 2 or something like that. I have to go back and check the download logs or whatever. Go look in my emails. But Bookmap has evolved so much, and it's just so nice to see. I mean, it is snappy fast there. If in red, it should still make you break even. Now that would be a useful button. That would be amazing, right? Can you imagine? You press the button, and you're like, oh, we're all good now. Don't worry. AMD very strong since yesterday's close. I'm seeing that too as well. Having a great month with your help. Have made almost 5K in my 50K funded account. Got an email from Mick. Now to keep it up. Mike, nice work. Can we give it up for Mark here in chat? It's all you, Mark. You're the one pressing the buttons. I mean, I'm just here to give my my advice and stories from time to time. But remember, it's all you. You're the one pushing the buttons. Hats off to you. Nice work there, Mark. It's usually just to drag my stop slightly above break even. Yeah, I mean it is what it is. Kofifi, by the way, how on our hotkeys that Cargo's coding up over there, how is the break even button? Is it good stuff? Does it work really, really well? Would be prime for a pullback to VWAP here. I don't know if we're going to get that. Maybe on the earnings print. That would be not earnings. Why do you keep saying earnings? On the data print that's coming out. So remember, we do have a very slight data print. It's preliminary durable goods, preliminary capital goods. And, I'm not expecting a big print off of this thing. Do we have expectations here on the print? So durable goods, we're looking at 2.5% and 0.2% for the X transportation print. Again, I'm honestly not expecting a whole lot on this print here. Can people get banned on Top Step for taking similar trades that you do? No. Gosh, no. No, the only way that you're going to get banned is if you're trying to do something shady. No, if you're taking similar trades to me, you're never going to, if anything, you'll probably start passing accounts and getting payouts. I'm kidding. But where's the break even? But it's next to that 15 lot button, but you have to be in a position. It has to be in the green there. We figured that out just moments ago. Yes, you may have to reset it though. I had, what does that say when I had it first? I got it months ago for what? Reset what there? Can't log in and Top Step X isn't the same Top Step account login. It should be. If you go to your dashboard, you click the Top Step X button. That's how you access Top Step X. Nice. Angel Pastor's second 50K combine. Let's go, Angel. In the pocket over here. No, yesterday, big play. Did you stream in this room and on Top Step TV? Yes, I certainly did. And so whenever I'm on Top Step TV, I also stream in the Discord. So you get the zero latency feed here. Nice work there, Kofifi. Let's go. Time is the webinar, 4 p.m. Eastern. 4 p.m. Eastern. All right, 90 seconds, folks. Let's see if we can trade this nothing burger of a newsprint. That's FX props that ban for trading similar positions to others because they say it's copy trade. No. Top Step doesn't have that rule. They do not have that rule at all. Thank you for letting us know, Claire. That makes more sense now. So thank you for that. The Top Step crew was geeking out to your trade yesterday. It was a lot of fun. I had so much fun. That was probably the best fast markets that we've ever had. All right. 45 seconds here, folks. Nice work there, Kofifi. All right, 30 seconds here. 30 seconds. Yeah, the trade was a lot of fun. That's a lot of fun. We do have a lot of overhead liquidity ranging from 45 all the way up to 50. 745 up to 750. S&P still holding strong above the VWAP. Let's see what happens here. Let's get our fingers on the trigger here. See how this shakes out. Remember, we're looking for what, 2.9, I think. 2.6. Let's see how heavy this is to the downside. And there's a big bid there, 31. So it's 10 basis points hotter. We're looking at 2.5. All right, I'm taking that long. They convinced me. There's a lot of liquidity above 50 there. There we go. There's a lot of liquidity there above 50. And if we can just blow through that, by golly, this thing will be strong. Where's our stop here? 27. I like where our stop is. S&Ps are still strong. See if we can hold here above 31s. Not a lot of liquidity right now. I'm going to see if they're going to step back in at all. There is some downside. Okay, somebody just turned on something. There we go. See if we can get this push above. Adding a second lot here. Looking for this push up. There's a liquidity draw above 50 that could happen, and we could reject off of that. So I'm just going to try to be watching the tape in case that does happen. Ooh, big bidder there showing their hand at 40s. Interesting. Watching here at 45 now. If anybody's front running this, okay, nobody's front running 45s. There's about a 60 lot there. If we sweep that, this is going to be strong. Yeah, shorts are covering a little bit there into those 45s. So nice push up here. Now let's see what happens at this interaction above 50. Buyers are slowing down just a touch here. I want to see some panic covers. That's what I'd really like to see. Some folks panic covering above these 45s here. Slowing down a little bit. So we had a big, somebody took 60 lots there at 45. I just want to see if we firm up any bids here. It's looking like there are some bids showing up, but they're not super, super strong yet. We have room down to 37 or so. So let's see if we can bounce off these 40s. Look at that. There's some, I mean, it's thin liquidity, and it's just like somebody keeps shooting in liquidity here on the long side. So I like that. We just need to get above 50 to start to see that blowout. Because then I think we target 69 in a jiffy. We just have to get through, there's about 250 contracts from here to 51. So let's see if we can slam right through this here. Apple under the Vwap, not doing us any favors. Google's just kind of holding here. There's that draw up to 50. There's that 50. All right, so let's see if we actually start stepping up here. Watching. So that's the draw that we're looking for all of that liquidity swept is about 200 and 300 contracts there. Now we want to see that hold strong above 50s here. Let's see if we get this hold now. I'm adding into that. Yeah, somebody's angry here. I want to see this above 55 now. See, very, very thin on the bid side, but let's see if they still have this player that's slamming this above 50. I'm doing one more contract here for this draw into 55. Watching. I'm going to move my stop too, even though we don't really need to. So if they start feathering the offer here, I'm going to start to pull out. But as long as we can get to that 55 mark, this should be strong. Watching carefully here. Move this down a little bit here. There we go. Tickle, tickle. Show me that 55, because there's somebody resting at 56 as well. And if we jump up there, we should be able to grab that and sweep, and I can feather out probably 2 here. So let's see. As long as we're holding above 50, I like this. So we had that draw above 50, and then buyers kind of evaporating here. Let's see if we have more of that juice back up to the upside. And I might want to add here if we come as low as like 42. But let's see. Doing an ad right there for the anticipation that we will sweep that 50 again. Watching here. Apple did perk above Vwap too, and Google's just kind of wrestling and figuring it out. So I did like that pullback. Let's see if we have continuation up through 50 again. This will be our tell. So watching here back up to 50. There's some buyers there on the tape. We just need to see if they're not capping it on too hard into these 50s. So watching here. If we get down to like this 40 level, this would be a nice opportunity for a dip buy for me, I believe. Watching. And if we do get stopped out, I'm happy to refresh it. So we just got stopped out there. I'm happy to refresh this position because we're right back to that 37 level. I still think that we have enough buyers here. I think we drew that liquidity above 50s. Could have taken profit there, but I still like what I'm seeing here to the long side. As long as we are holding at this 37 level. Burying bids right here. Watching. Looking Looking for here for a nice starter right around 37. So I'm seeing some folks showing up here at 37 a little bit, but they're not super strong. So the moment that we snap above those 37s, I'm back in. And as long as we're holding above 30s here, I'm still thinking longs. The low point of the reversal would be right down there at 27 quarters. So watching here. So coming down, let's see, if 27 quarters start to give, I'd be shocked. I would be really, really shocked about that. Still holding above these 30s. Apple rejecting VWAP, but it's still strong underneath. Google kind of holding above 158 for now. Is my chart behind? There we go. Sorry about that. No. It was that. Yeah. So I'm not executing on that chart at all. That just goes to show I'm not even looking at that chart. That's off to the side there. So 27s. This is our big tell here. 27 quarters. I really did like that to the long side still. So let's see if we're holding right around 25 or so. I mean, if this goes all the way back to VWAP, this is going to give us another great opportunity, in my opinion. So right now we're running out that scenario right here that we're talking about, where we're drawing above and rejecting, but I'm not seeing anything that's showing me huge sellers across the board here. Try a long here, back in the longs. I want to see this strong above 30 now. So looking for a reclaim of 37. And I can have my stop right there at 21. Adding into that there. Again, looking for the reclaim of 37. Adding again. So there's a defender at 35, but it's not heavy. Watching here right at 35. We should jam right through this. Oh, they pulled out of 35, so they actually hit the bid there. That player at 35 hit the bid, which is actually surprising to me. I think they would have got filled regardless. So let's see. So coming back up. Somebody's front running 35 now. Okay, there we go, through 35. Let's see if we can hold above and get up and over that 37 and a quarter. It's interesting to see that player come out of 35 and start slamming the bid. I don't really understand that play at all. It was only a 25 lot too. All right, watching here. Looking for 37 to reclaim. Yeah, I still like this rejection down here. Just show me above that 37 reclaim and we are on the ticket here. Interesting that there are still some folks shoving this into the bid, but they're weak players. And there's somebody stronger coming in. What is that? About a 40 lot there. See if we have a dip opportunity back here at the 30s. Trying a dip opportunity right here back at those 30s, looking for 37 to reclaim now. Watching here at 37 and quarters. Should be able to pump up right. And there's a player at 36. Let's see. Seeing if they're swiping this right away. Right now there's a player at 36. I want to see whether or not we take that liquidity right away. Okay, right through it. There we go. That's what I want to see. Okay, back at 37 quarters. Can we get through it without this rejection? Big rejection there at 37 again. So we have some players that are kind of stepping in. There's a lower liquidity right now. We're not getting congruent liquidity. So again, I want to see this stepping through those 37s, but right now somebody's violently selling into that. So it's kind of a battle. From what I can see on the tape, it's a battle between two larger players here. Somebody hates 35. Somebody doesn't want to let it run through 35s here. Here, I'm going to pull off 4 into the offer here. 4 out. Let the rest run. Put my stopper, stopped out there. That's crazy. I can't believe I got stopped out that fast. I must have trailed that a little bit too tight. All right, back to 730s here. I still want to chop around in this range. We didn't reclaim 37s with a lot of strength. So I would have liked to see much more strength on that there. 22, 24, big level here, as we kind of talked about earlier. If we're rejecting here at these 22s, we should be able to make a push back up here. All right, let's see here, down at these 24s again. Apple's still kind of rejecting here. This might be something where we have to wait until 9 a.m. comes in because the lack of players that are, it's not consistent players. You know, the liquidity isn't consistent. So having some people come in and snap this around makes it a little bit difficult to read. Like right when we got into that 37 area, that's when we had some big players stepping in. It made it very, very difficult to read that. All right, let's see what happens down here at 22s. There's a lot of folks that are trying to cover their shorts down here at 22s. And if we can turn that into momentum buying, I think we'll be in a good space here. Can also put on like a 2-lot risking down to 19s here. Just trying to eye what we're looking at here. Pull back down all the way to Vwap would be nice as well. I'm still just not liking this from the short side myself. Yeah, 712 is where the Vwap is. Mine's at 13.5, so. Okay, we're testing these 20s now. You can see there's a bunch of liquidity right there that's underneath that. So I can't anticipate that we'd be flushing that unless it's all the same group of algorithms that could just instantly pull that. So. Yeah, like Bryce says, what if it's the same folks' algos? Yeah, that's essentially that's what we're dealing with right now. Algorithms, it's the same algorithms that are providing both sides of the liquidity, which makes it difficult to read. Yeah, we missed our buy there off the 20s. Nice 27 handle bounce. Yeah, I'm seeing the same thing there, Chalerix. Exact same thing that you're seeing there. Is the update on Bookmap any better? I think it's worlds better. I've been talking about that quite a bit, actually. I think that the 7.5 update is miles ahead of where it was. And we're back testing those 30s. I can't believe I missed my buy at those 20s there. Unfortunate. Yeah, absolutely update to 7.5 build 16 if you haven't already. Do you have any advice for adding to your winning trades? You have to have it kind of calculated out. It's a very difficult thing to do at a discretionary level. Very, very difficult to do on a discretionary level. So you want to have it kind of planned out. It's one of the things that we're actually going to be talking about today in the webinar. So going to be going into that. How to trade around levels, what you're looking for in candle confirmation. We're going to talk about all that. It's going to be a lot of fun. Am I trading my XFA? No, we're trading on 3 combines right now. We are on 3 combines. Show you what this looks like over here. We're trading on 3 combines. Currently in the red. Trying to trade our way out of the red here. Nice vision, up 1,600 for the day. Done for the day before it even started. Those are the best days. All right, we're coming down to Vwap. This is where we want to be on the ticket here. We have room down to 710 quarters. All right, so we're holding those 20s again. Okay, somebody's backing at those 25s. I'm gonna take a long here, given how harsh that rejection was off the lows. Maybe a lot of folks anticipating VWAP there. So our stop's at 710 quarters, which I do like. Happy to get ourselves out if we do flush below that VWAP and then look for a trade to get back in. Traded the same position as you with negative results. I mean, I'm negative right now. I'm in the red right now. All right, so let's see. Looking at these 20s to hold. Still kind of coming down here. VWAP rate at 713 halves. So I'm looking for ads around that area. Even though the market is looking a little bit heavy here, and we are making continuous lower highs. It's just getting thick as we're burying it into these bids, and that's kind of what's keeping me interested in these longs here. And the fact that we are coming back down to that VWAP. All right, let's see if we reclaim 20s here. If we see a reclaim of 20s, then I'm interested. Watching. Doing an ad right here, anticipating a VWAP bounce. Seeing some thicker bids coming in. And we're right close to our stop here. That's the VWAP. We had absorption into the VWAP. Very, very close to our stop here. So this, watching if we're holding anything above. Watching, doing an ad right there. Trying to time a VWAP bounce. If this gets buried, then we're just going to get stopped out 710s. Seeing how aggressive these shorts are. Still holding. And about to be stopped out. We're right here up against our stop. We'll do one more ad right up against our stop there. And stopped out. Yeah, so unfortunately, wrong read on that. Still flushing down. I am still looking for longs here. We are coming down. I am still looking for longs at these 710s. I do those ads that close to my stop because the addition on risk is very, very low. It's like risking another 40 bucks there. So we're bouncing right at 710. Back in long. Moving my stop to like 706 here. Still like this to the long side. Okay, watching here on this bounce. Watching right here at 710 again. Big key level on 710. This will be my last attempt for bouncing this. If we don't bounce here at 710, the idea is pretty moot, in my opinion. All right, let's see if we clear above these 15s now. Watching. Doing an ad here. Looking for this bounce to hold. Again, we're bouncing at that 710 area. I would expect that a lot of shorts would be covering here unless we have room all the way down to 676. And if that's the case, then we'll be stopped out there at 706 on the way down. All right, 710s again. Where I'd be looking for an ad. Watching. Google's firming up a little bit too, which I like to see. Firming up at those 157s. So we're looking for clearance above 15s now. Adding right here for that push up towards 15. Watching to see if we can get that clear out. If we do, we should see this run up potentially right through 20. And we're kind of constrained under the VWAP right now. So burst above that. And we are 10 minutes from the top of the hour where we will have an injection of liquidity as well. So here we go, above 15s. See if we can start to get a run here towards those 20s without a lot of folks capping this on here. Very weak bounce. So don't like that attempt. We had an attempt back above 15 and a very, very weak bounce. Very, very thin on the bid side. So definitely not liking this. I wanted to see if we get a clearance above 15s like that, we want to see a straight shot to 20. So not feeling super strong in the position right now. So this is it right here. This would be it for the rebound right here. If we don't make this stand at 715s and we get above this into those 20s, then this is the whole trade idea is pretty much dead in the water for me. This is the last stand here. Liquidity injection is coming in about 8 minutes here. 8 minutes. Yeah, we're getting a little bit of strength, and then we have some stronger offers showing up, and it's very, very thin liquidity. Very, very thin on either side. And then when we get above 715s there, the offers start to get pretty thick. So if we don't start pushing above that and start changing this into a squeeze here and having people panic cover and saying, okay, that's the end of the extension there to the short side, then this trade will not work. So looking for this to get above those 15s into those 20s. 20s would start to bring that push back up. So watching here again, trying to time this all appropriately. Still very low participation. We have participations coming in 7 minutes, whether we like it or not. Okay, see if we can have any kind of strength into these 20s. There, you can see how heavy these offers are as we're stepping in, and these are just 1 and 2 lot prints, so it's scaring away the activity of price here to the top side. Making this incredibly difficult for us to get a run. We just don't have any buyers showing up here. Thin liquidity and no buyers on the tape at all. And Google's still holding here. S&P seems to be dragging things down quite a bit, but we did have a nice little bounce there at 51.10. What was the low on that candle there? 51.11. Very low volume too. And we are just kind of still holding and holding above the 710 quarters for now. Like I said, we need to make that stand above 15 into those 20s. And if we don't see that happening, it's just we're not gonna see this flip. And the reason why we need to see this strong above 15s into the 20s is that it needs to signify that the downtrend is temporarily over and we will start to see some stops being popped. And if we can try to be aggressive into that run up. So if we had some firm bids here at 710, that would give me the confidence to do an ad here, but I'm not seeing any firm bids. Just seeing very, very thin on either side. So we're going to have to wait here for this liquidity injection that's coming in about 5.5 minutes here. Yeah, decent consolidation, but it's not heavy bids, which I don't like. Not seeing what I want to see. See if we can find any kind of bids here at 710 for potentially a final ad. But the fact of the matter is that we're not strong above 15s. Stopped out there. All right, we're going to take a break here until I can read the market a lot better than what I'm seeing here. Things just continually going short. I'm trying to get these bounces, but I'm going to put myself on a 5-minute shot clock here. Stop myself out. What's a liquidity injection bring? Is it always bullish? No, definitely not. It is not always bullish. So, do the extra fees on micros matter on Top Step X? Is it 0 commissions? There are 0 commissions, but there are clearing fees. There are clearing fees. I look like Tam Bilzerian. I don't think so. I disagree with that assessment. Oh, goodness. Just hit a clean head and shoulders trade on crude. Nice. There you go. It looks like it's forming a big M. Yeah, it could be a nice big M pattern. But yeah, we are coming down. I mean, if I would have just been short where I was long, it would have been a great morning. But unfortunately, that's not what we're looking at here. So the next area that I'm looking for anything to solidify here, because again, it's thin on either side. I'm not sold either way. Obviously, if I was taking this to the short side, it would have made all the difference. Would have been nice, but I'm just not seeing it that way. How do you know when there's going to be an injection of liquidity? Well, 9 a.m., 9:25. Obviously, the open, 9:45, 10, 11:30. Euro close, also a big one there. By golly, look at this thing just bleeding out now. Let's see if I mean, I hate to do this, but let's see if we start to have any uptick towards 700. Then we could join to the short side here. If we reject 700s, let's have a look. Because now we're in this area where if we are breaking below 96, we do start to see that potential that we can get to 76. So it would be a 20 handle trade. Watching to see what happens around these 700s here. Yeah, I know. Shot clock. We've been on the clock for what? I don't know, 2 minutes. See if we can do 3 more minutes. So back above 700s here. Watching to see what happens up here at 705. Google's still very heavy alongside Apple. And Microsoft is just kind of doing nothing here. So let's see what happens on this push up towards 706. Because we had the last rejection was at 706 3/4. So 706 coming down here. Let's see if we can actually make our way. We'll probably just hold off until the injection of liquidity. Once that liquidity injection happens, we should be able to read this market a little bit better, in my opinion. Rips, quick question. Can you explain how the 100 tick charts works? I mean, it's measured, each bar is 100 ticks. So it moves after 100 ticks. Tick charts are, they're their own thing. When you're green, take it off the screen. When you're in the red, cut it dead. I like that. That's awesome. Just made my 375 and my 50K combine on the downside. Very, very nice. Denise, let's go. All right, looking here at 705, 706. We are, 90 seconds? Yeah, 90 seconds here from the injection of liquidity. 9 p.m., 9:25, 9:30 market open, 9:45, 10, 11:30. Those are your injection points, so you want to be watching. And of course, 10 minutes prior to close. One minute from the injection of liquidity. So this is where we can get back in, is after 1 minute here. I don't use Heiken Ashi candles. I'm not a big fan of them. Do you know if TopStep X will be free or is there a monthly fee? It's free. There's no fee for TopStep X. Dolby says, Rips, I got the paternity test back. You are, in fact, the father of Andre. Wow. Amazing. That is incredible. I was waiting for that. Wait, do we have another print that's coming out no, some kind of business conference. I don't have that on my schedule. All right, here's your injection of liquidity. Oh, Belgian business confidence. Let's see if 700s want to hold here now. All right, we're trying that short. See if they can hold below 700s, and then we can get aggressive in this if they are. Some decent sized bid activity. There we go. Burying that in below. So this is the trigger point, those 696s. If we can hold strong below those, then we should dump. Watching here. Looking for a bounce up to 95s or so. Whoa, I got to add into that. That was pretty dramatic there through the 90s. And now let me see here if we can actually hit this a little bit harder. Through 80s. Watching. Wow, big amount of players are stepping in right here. That is crazy amount of players that are coming in here. We have to be careful they don't send this rate back to 700 here. That's a massive amount of players that are coming in. Wow. That was fast too. Insanely fast how fast those players came in. That was insane. All right, watching here at these 90s, if these 90s fail. Huge amount of liquidity being added into the market here, so it makes it a little bit difficult to play. We are holding 8 contracts short, so it's a little bit difficult to be adding here in case we do get a whip up. Have to be careful for this drawback up towards 700. Liquidity is resting all the way from 97 to 700 here, so watching, yeah, stopped out. Yeah, that's the breaks there this morning. Not reading the market very well here. So that's showing here, hitting max loss across 3 combines. That's going to bring my those combines are now at 154,000. So could have passed them today, but unfortunately hitting max loss on those. Trying to bury that below these the 690. So take a little break here from trading. Could potentially just buy 3 more combines. I don't feel like I should be trading my XFAs when I'm reading the market so bad, but I could just buy 3 more combines. But those combines right now, 154,000. They were at 157 and 5, so 157 and change. That would have been, $1,500 away from passing today. And unfortunately, just got very, very aggressive in trying to trade those things, and unfortunately, it didn't work out. So those are the breaks, folks. So what does that put us at? Total P&L here. Going back to NinjaTrader here. Total P&L, 98.60 there. 98.60 in the red there on the day. So unfortunate, that's the way it shakes out sometimes, trying to get very, very aggressive there. And was just reading the market wrong on the on that downtrend there, and ended up shorting into these the lows and got my face ripped off. So that's what's going to happen today, folks. Tell you what, if we do, let's see how many likes we have. If we do have some likes in here, do a quick little giveaway before I finish up here. I'm going to continue trading in the Discord. So we will absolutely continue trading in there, especially off the open. This could be a lot of fun, but let's see here. Oh, we're at 474 likes. Okay, that's no problem. All right, folks. Well, thanks for joining me here on the YouTube. I really appreciate you tuning in. Folks on the Discord, don't go in anywhere. And I will see you folks here in just a minute. Take care, everybody.